Alex Mercer stood with his back to the room, gazing out through the reinforced glass at the infinite expanse of space. The stars glittered coldly, indifferent to the turmoil brewing within Helix 1. Space, in its vastness, held no comfort, only isolation. It was a mirror to his own state of mind, a vast loneliness punctuated by the faint but persistent echoes of betrayal. Alex's hands were clenched loosely at his sides, the knuckles white beneath the thin gloves of his security uniform. The weight of the past weeks bore down on him like the crushing silence of zero gravity. Every step he'd taken, every decision, had led to this moment, the calm before the storm, the imminent confrontation with Vivian Cade, the mastermind behind the sabotage, threatening to tear the station apart. He thought of the faces he trusted, Dr. Lena Ortiz, whose intelligence and compassion had become an anchor, Raj Patel, the steady hand keeping the station's systems alive, Jenna Wu, fierce and loyal, a beacon of hope in the encroaching darkness. Even Marcus Vale, whose loyalties remained ambiguous, was a necessary piece in this dangerous puzzle. The door to the observation bay hissed softly, and Alex turned to see Lena entering. Her curly black hair framed a face marked by concern, but her eyes held a fierce determination. "Alex," she said quietly, approaching him. "We've run the diagnostics again. Raj says the structural reinforcements are holding, but the sabotage attempts have weakened sections more than we anticipated." Alex nodded, the tension in his jaw tightening. "We're running out of time. Vivian's next move could be catastrophic." Lena's gaze flicked back to the stars. "We have the knowledge and the technology to stop her. But it's the human element that's unpredictable." "Trust," Alex murmured. "That's the real battleground." They moved together to the command center, where Raj Patel and Jenna Wu were already at work, their faces illuminated by the glow of multiple screens. The room buzzed with a tense energy, the low beeps and clicks of the consoles underscoring the gravity of the moment. Raj looked up as they entered. "We've updated the lockdown protocols. Access to critical systems is restricted to this team only. No surprises." Jenna's eyes met Alex's briefly, a silent vow passing between them. "We'll be ready," she said firmly. Marcus Vale's arrival in the corridor was less conspicuous, but no less charged. His tall figure emerged from the shadows, his calculating gaze fixed on Alex. The sterile white walls seemed to amplify the silence between them, thick with unspoken questions and wary suspicions. "You trust me," Marcus said, breaking the quiet. The statement hung in the air, more a challenge than a question. Alex's eyes narrowed. "I'm not sure I can afford to, but right now, I don't have a choice." Marcus offered a faint, enigmatic smile. "Good, because this isn't over yet." Back in the diagnostics bay, Jenna worked quickly, her fingers flying over the control panel. The blinking console lights cast sharp shadows across her determined features. She paused, inhaling deeply, steadying herself against the weight of the station's fate resting on her shoulders. The calm before the storm was a fragile illusion. Every heartbeat, every breath, was a countdown to confrontation. Alex knew that the trust he'd built, even if fractured, was the only weapon he had left against Vivian's ruthless ambition. As the station's systems hummed steadily beneath their feet, the team prepared to face the darkness lurking within Helix 1. Outside, the stars continued their cold vigil, bearing silent witness to the unfolding battle of wills, trust, and survival. And within that vacuum, Alex Mercer steeled himself for what would come next, the zero-gravity showdown that would test everything he believed in, everything he fought to protect. The calm was ending. The storm was coming. He took a final look out into the void, then turned back to the team, his resolve hardening like the steel hull around them. Let's finish this. The countdown to confrontation had begun. Alex Mercer floated silently, his every movement calculated, a breath held in the vacuum of zero gravity. Around him, the familiar hum of the station's failing systems created a dissonant symphony of tension, the subtle groans of metal under stress, the distant alarm pulses from compromised sectors, and the sharp hiss of depressurizing valves. His eyes, sharp and unwavering, scanned every surface, every panel, every flicker of movement. The cold bite of adrenaline coursed through his veins, sharpening his senses as he neared the heart of the sabotage. Vivian Cade was here, somewhere elegant, ruthless, a ghost among the steel veins of Helix 1. Alex's mind raced, piecing together fragmented clues and intercepted communications that had led him to this moment. Years of training, of crisis management, coalesced into a singular focus: stop Vivian before she could finish what she started. The weight of the entire station and every life aboard it pressed down on him with a suffocating intensity. Suddenly, a subtle shift in the air caught his attention. Movement. A shadow detached itself from the darkened bulkhead, coalescing into the unmistakable figure of Vivian Cade. Her platinum blonde hair floated ethereally around her, her piercing blue eyes locking onto his with a cold, unyielding glare. "Alex," she said, voice smooth as silk yet edged with steel. "You're persistent, admirable, but futile." He tightened his grip on the tether clipped to his suit, preparing for the inevitable confrontation. "This ends now, Vivian. No more sabotage, no more lies." Without warning, she lunged forward, the zero-gravity corridor becoming their battleground. The clash was immediate, and brutal fists collided with the sharp clang of impact, bodies twisting and spinning in a deadly dance. The confined space echoed with the sounds of their struggle, grunts, the scrape of gloves against metal, the sudden crack of a panel jarred loose. Alex leveraged his agility, dodging a vicious strike that would have sent him tumbling into the station's exposed wiring. He countered with a swift jab to Vivian's side, the contact sending a ripple of shock through them both. Yet she smiled, her predator's grin unfazed. "You think you can stop what's already begun?" she hissed, twisting and bringing her knee up in a sharp arc aimed at his chest. He blocked, the force pushing him backward, but he anchored himself against a handrail. "I'm not just stopping you, I'm ending this." Their struggle carried them deeper into the station's guts, a maze of conduits and fractured systems. Sparks flew from severed cables, casting strobing shadows that danced across their faces. Sweat mingled with the recycled air, each breath a labor as pressure mounted. Alex's thoughts flickered briefly to Dr. Lena Ortiz and Raj Patel, working feverishly to stabilize the systems. He couldn't afford to fail, not now. Vivian's movements grew more desperate, her strikes sharper, fueled by a venomous blend of ambition and despair. But Alex's resolve hardened. Years of haunted memories, of failures past, steeled him in this moment of reckoning. He seized an opening, a momentary falter in Vivian's assault, and grappled her toward the station's bulkhead. The impact resounded like a thunderclap within the narrow corridor. Vivian's breath hitched, eyes wide with shock, but defiance blazed within them. "You may have won this battle," she spat, "but the war is far from over." Alex pressed a hand against her chest, steadying himself in the shifting gravity. "Not if I have anything to say about it." As the echoes of their fight faded into the hum of the station's fragile heartbeat, Alex knew this was more than a victory. It was a turning point, one that would define the fate of Helix 1 and everyone aboard. But even in triumph, shadows lingered. The station was wounded, its secrets far from fully uncovered. And somewhere beyond the silence, new threats waited patient, watching, ready to strike. Alex's eyes narrowed as he prepared for what lay ahead. In the cold, merciless expanse of space, survival demanded more than strength. It demanded vigilance, cunning, and the courage to trust in the impossible. "This isn't over," he whispered to the void. "Not yet." And with that, the zero-gravity showdown closed, but the story of Helix 1 was just beginning to unfold anew. His breath was steady, but beneath that controlled exterior, his heart hammered with a fierce urgency. Somewhere within the station lay the final sabotage device, a ticking fuse that threatened to annihilate everything. And everyone aboard this fragile orbital outpost, every sound seemed amplified, the faint hum of damaged circuitry, the intermittent clang of floating debris, the distant blare of alarms that screamed of impending doom. Alex's gloved hands brushed against the cold metal of the station's framework as he navigated the maze-like maintenance tunnels, his sharp eyes scanning for any sign of the device. His mind raced, piecing together the sabotage pattern he and Dr. Lena Ortiz had uncovered, a deliberate assault targeting the station's core systems. The weight of isolation pressed in. No rescue would come from Earth in time, no second chances. Meanwhile, in the station's central control hub, Dr. Lena Ortiz sat hunched over a bank of consoles, her fingers flying across touchscreens and physical switches. Sweat beaded at her hairline, fogging her glasses as she desperately rerouted power and stabilized faltering life support systems. Chief Engineer Raj Patel's calm but urgent voice crackled over the comms, coordinating repairs and communicating with the crew, his steady demeanor an anchor amid the chaos. "Alex, you've got maybe 5 minutes before the power fails completely." Lena's voice came through the comm, taut with anxiety. "We're holding the station's vital systems for now, but the next failure, it'll be catastrophic." Acknowledging the urgency, Alex pushed harder, his lithe form sliding through a maintenance hatch into a cramped, zero-gravity chamber where the station's backup power junctions were housed. It was here, he suspected, hidden beneath layers of conduits and panels, that the final sabotage device had been planted. Suddenly, movement caught his eye. A flash of platinum blonde hair drifting in the muted light. Vivian Cade, the architect of this chaos. She floated toward him, her icy blue eyes gleaming with a cold resolve that matched the elegance of her composed expression. The station's silence was punctuated only by the soft whoosh of their breaths and the muffled thuds as debris drifted lazily around them. "You're too late, Alex," Vivian said smoothly, her voice a chilling contrast to the alarm bells ringing in his ears. "Helix 1 will burn, and with it, the power structures that imprisoned me." Alex's gaze hardened. "Not today, not while I'm here." Their confrontation unfolded as a deadly ballet in the weightless void, a struggle of wills and physical prowess. Alex dodged a swift strike, countering with calculated precision. The zero-G environment transformed the fight into a tense, twisting dance, where every push and pull could send them spinning into oblivion. But Alex's focus never wavered from the device. As he grappled with Vivian, his fingers worked deftly to pry open the junction box concealing the sabotage instrument. The intricate wiring and timer mechanisms offered no margin for error. With a final surge of effort, Alex disengaged the device's power source just as the countdown reached its last seconds. The abrupt cessation of alarms was deafening in its silence. The emergency lights slowly shifted from red to the normal, soft white glow, flooding the station with a renewed but fragile calm. Vivian's expression flickered surprise, then resignation as she drifted back, defeated but unbowed. Alex exhaled, muscles trembling from the adrenaline and exertion. The station was safe, for now. But the toll was evident. Systems were damaged, trust shattered, and a heavy exhaustion settled over the crew. As Alex floated back toward the command hub, the weight of what had transpired pressed on him more than the absence of gravity ever could. The battle was won, but the war for Helix One's future was just beginning. Shadows of betrayal lingered, and the fragile alliances would need to hold if they were to rebuild from the brink. The silence between the beeping consoles was palpable as Alex rejoined Lena and Raj. "We made it," he said quietly, voice hoarse. "But we need to be ready. This isn't over." Lena nodded, eyes reflecting the flickering displays. "No, it's just the beginning of healing." Outside the viewport, the vast, indifferent blackness of space stretched endlessly, a reminder that in the cold void, survival was always a precarious balance of vigilance, trust, and unyielding determination. As Helix One steadied itself, Alex felt the heavy cloak of relief settling over him, but also the unshakable knowledge that the scars of this ordeal, both physical and emotional, would endure. The summit might continue, the corporate players might regroup, but beneath it all, a new reality had been forged in the fires of crisis, and Alex Mercer was resolved to face whatever shadows lay ahead. And so, with the station's heartbeat stabilizing, Alex prepared to confront the uncertain dawn. Knowing that endurance was no longer just about survival, it was about leading through the lingering darkness. The silence was broken only by the steady hum of restored systems and the faint, steady pulse of human resilience echoing through Helix One's corridors, a promise that as long as they held fast, hope remained. But in the depths of space, where every breath was a gift and every ally a question, the true test was yet to come. Alex Mercer leaned against the cool glass of the viewport, his gaze fixed on the vast curve of Earth below. The planet spun serenely, a swirling mosaic of blues, greens, and whites against the infinite blackness of space. It was a fragile beauty, a stark contrast to the chaos that had just unfolded aboard Helix One. 4 hours after the last sabotage device was disarmed, the station had been a place of tense quiet. The adrenaline that had surged through every corridor and compartment had ebbed, leaving behind a heavy residue of exhaustion and unease. The corporate summit, once a showcase of power and ambition, was now a crucible of shattered alliances and raw wounds. Alex's thoughts churned as he let the silence wash over him. The faces of those lost, those betrayed, flickered through his mind like ghosts in the shadows. The station's corridors still bore the scars of conflict, scorch marks from explosions, twisted metal where sabotage had struck, and the faint scent of burnt circuitry lingering in the air. Every corner held a reminder of the precarious balance they had fought so hard to maintain. Behind him, the soft footsteps of Dr. Lena Ortiz approached. She stood quietly, her expression weary but resolute. "Systems are stabilizing," she reported, her voice steady but tinged with fatigue. "Raj and the engineering team are working round the clock to repair the remaining damage." Alex nodded, appreciating the calm professionalism she brought to the chaos. How long before full operational capacity? A few days, if we're lucky. The life support systems took the worst hit, but we're reinforcing protocols to prevent any future breaches. Their eyes met briefly, a silent acknowledgement of the fragile state of the station and the lives tethered to it. This summit was supposed to be about progress, Alex mused, not destruction. Lena sighed. Power always attracts darkness. The weight of those words settled between them as they moved toward the command center. There, Chief Engineer Raj Patel was already poring over system readouts, his calm demeanor a steady anchor in the storm. Beside him, Jenna Wu coordinated with security teams, her sharp eyes scanning every alert with practiced vigilance. The group's collective focus was a testament to human resilience, their refusal to let fear and betrayal define them. Yet beneath the surface, the undercurrents of mistrust remained palpable. Marcus Vale lingered near the entrance, his posture guarded, his gaze calculating. Alex caught sight of him and approached, the tension between them a taut wire. "Marcus," Alex began, his voice low. "We need to talk about what's next." Marcus's lips curled into a faint, enigmatic smile. "Always straight to business, Alex. I respect that." "Respect is earned," Alex countered. "And right now, trust is in short supply." Their conversation was a delicate dance of words, each probing the other's intentions. Marcus revealed partial insights into the corporate fallout shifts in alliances, power vacuums, and the inevitable jockeying for position that would follow such a crisis. Yet his ambiguous loyalties cast a long shadow, leaving Alex wary despite the pressing need for cooperation. As the dialogue ended, Alex's thoughts drifted back to Vivian Cade. The image of her platinum hair and piercing blue eyes flashed vividly in his mind, a symbol of the ruthless ambition that had nearly destroyed the station. He had seen her escorted through the sterile corridors earlier, her composure unbroken even in restraint. The silent challenge in her gaze was a chilling reminder that the battle for Helix One's soul was far from over. Later, in the solitude of his quarters, Alex allowed himself a moment of vulnerability. The scars from this ordeal, both physical and emotional, were deep. Memories of past failures mingled with the fresh wounds of betrayal, threatening to overwhelm him. Yet beneath the weight of it all was a stubborn ember of determination. He reached for a small photograph tucked away in his drawer, faded image from a time before the shadows had closed in. It was a reminder of who he was and what he fought for. The safety of those aboard Helix One, the fragile hope for a future untainted by deceit. As the station pulsed softly around him, Alex made a silent promise. The scars he bore would not define him. He would rebuild, forge new alliances, and stand vigilant against the darkness. For, in the vast silence of space, survival depended not just on strength, but on the courage to trust again. And as the distant glow of Earth filled the viewport, Alex Mercer prepared to face the uncertain horizon with resolve tempered by hard-won wisdom. The war for Helix One's future was just beginning. In the aftermath of the sabotage crisis, the station's corridors no longer carried the sharp edge of immediate danger, but the air remained heavy with unspoken tensions and cautious glances exchanged in the wake of betrayal. Alex Mercer stood at the heart of this fragile calm, his posture rigid but his mind restless. The weight of recent events pressed down on him, but beneath the fatigue was a flicker of cautious optimism. He made his way to the conference room, where the summit's remaining delegates had gathered to regroup and reassess the future. The large, circular table sat vacant in the center, awaiting the negotiations and discussions that would shape the fate of the summit and the station itself. The lighting was subdued, casting long shadows that seemed to echo the fractures still present among the attendees. As Alex entered, his eyes immediately found Marcus Vale seated near the far end, his expression unreadable as always. The tension between them was a palpable thread that had woven itself tightly through every interaction since. Marcus's ambiguous loyalties had come to light. Yet, in this moment, the necessity for cooperation outweighed past grievances. Alex approached, his steps measured and deliberate. "Marcus," Alex began, his voice steady but carrying an undercurrent of cautious resolve. "We need to talk about the future of this station and what comes next. Marcus looked up, his calculating gaze meeting Alex's. "I'm listening," he replied smoothly, though the guarded tone betrayed his own uncertainties. The conversation that followed was careful, each word weighed against the risk of betrayal and the promise of mutual benefit. Alex did not offer blind trust, nor did Marcus demand absolution. Instead, they navigated a delicate dance of concessions and guarded admissions, acknowledging the shared goal of securing Helix One against further threats. Meanwhile, in the engineering bay, the atmosphere was markedly different but equally charged with purpose. Dr. Lena Ortiz and Chief Engineer Raj Patel moved side by side through the dimly lit space, their voices lowered to a murmur as they inspected the repaired systems. The faint scent of ozone lingered in the air, a testament to the recent damage and the ongoing efforts to restore stability. "The life support systems are holding steady," Raj reported, his voice steady but tinged with relief. "We're reinforcing the backup protocols as well." Lena nodded, adjusting her glasses as she reviewed data on a portable tablet. "The sabotage exposed vulnerabilities we didn't anticipate. We'll need to implement new safeguards and run simulations regularly to stay ahead." Their collaboration was a blend of scientific rigor and practical engineering, a partnership forged in crisis and sustained by shared commitment. It was a beacon of hope amid the uncertainty. Back on the observation deck, Alex found a moment alone. The vast expanse of space stretched before him, a canvas of black punctuated by distant stars. His reflection shimmered faintly against the glass, a ghostly reminder of the isolation that space imposed and the internal battles he fought. The silence was profound, broken only by the soft hum of the station's systems. He allowed himself a deep breath, the weight of responsibility settling on his shoulders. The scars of the sabotage would not fade quickly, nor would the betrayals be easily forgotten. Yet, within him stirred a determination to rebuild, not just the station's defenses, but the fragile bonds between its inhabitants. In the security control room, Jenna Wu was a flurry of focused energy. Her eyes flicked rapidly between multiple screens, displaying the station's various systems and security feeds. Her fingers danced across the controls, coordinating the implementation of upgraded protocols and liaising with the rest of the security team. Status on the new firewalls. Alex's voice crackled through the cum. "Integrated and running optimally," Jenna replied without hesitation. "We're also deploying additional surveillance drones to monitor critical areas." Her dedication was a vital thread in the tapestry of recovery, a reminder that every small action contributed to the greater goal of safety and stability. As the hours passed, the tentative alliance between Alex and Marcus began to take shape. Meetings were held, strategies devised, and the fractured factions aboard Helix One started to find common ground. It was a slow, often uneasy process, marked by moments of tension and breakthroughs alike. Alex knew the path ahead would be fraught with challenges. Trust, once broken, was not easily mended. Yet, in these new alliances, he glimpsed the possibility of a future where vigilance and cooperation could coexist, where the station might finally breathe free from the shadow of betrayal. The night cycle aboard Helix One drew to a close as the station's artificial lights shifted, bathing the corridors in a soft glow. Alex lingered a moment longer on the observation deck, the stars outside steady and unyielding. "This isn't over," he whispered to the silence, "but we're not alone anymore." The chapter closed on this fragile hope, a quiet promise that even in the cold void of space, human resilience and the will to trust could forge a new beginning. As the station hummed softly around him, Alex prepared to face whatever new challenges awaited, strengthened by the alliances he had fought so hard to build. And somewhere deep within the station's labyrinthine corridors, unseen eyes watched. The game was far from finished. The delicate balance of trust and suspicion had shifted, but the stakes remained as high as ever. Alex's journey was only just beginning.